Hello and welcome into an Abundance of Naught. Garrett here, Brad and Wade. And it is February 12th.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, it is. All day.
My daughter turned 8 today.
Woohoo!
Yay.
It's scary that it's been 8 years. I fear for the next 4.
It's scary when they turn double digits, too.
Yeah. Anyway, how's it going?
Let's not think about that too much.
Yeah, change subject.
Yeah.
Things good?
Going well. Yeah, things are going good. How about you?
It's good. I'm taking Friday off, have a nice little 4-day weekend this week, which makes it really nice because that means it's a 4-day work week this week, 4-day weekend, 4-day work week the next week. It's awesome.
Dude.
In which you are left in New York.
Yes. Still in New York. Actually, it's going much better now, I must say.
Good.
Once we got Garrett off the job.
You know, as soon as we got him off, it just kind of smoothed right out. And
it's amazing how that happens. And that affects on people.
Yeah. We should make you take more time off work more often.
Sign me right up. I'm all for it. If I could just get, quote-unquote sick for a while, that'd be great. I've got, 3 weeks of sick time that I'll never use.
Nice. Yeah, so do I.
Freaking, I don't know what to do about it.
Take you down to the Center of Disease Control and give you a shot of something.
No, I've figured this out. If you don't want to feel guilty about being sick, this doesn't so much work for you because you're in the field and it sucks for you.
Yep.
But
wow.
In the morning, you pop a zinc tablet on an empty stomach. Now, zinc is typically good for helping you fight off getting anything, but generally on an empty stomach, your body doesn't react to it. Over the next couple hours or 2 hours, you will get pale, you will vomit. You'll be at work, and they will tell you need to go home, you're sick. Another hour or so passes, and you'll be right as rain, and now you've been told to go home, you're sick, but you feel great.
Nice.
And you don't feel as guilty lying about it.
Uh-huh.
Where's our zinc?
It's in the cupboard.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So it's good. Yeah, it's a nice one. For you might want to pop it in the parking lot, though. Because you've got kind of a distance from the parking lot.
Actually, I've done it before. Not on purpose. So I do have a perfectly, set time frame. But it's like, all right, right before I leave, an hour into work. Yeah,
that's right.
It's like I leave, an hour into work. Oh, okay, here it goes. Yeah, I just did that in the bathroom. I gotta go.
Well, it's not even that. You'll look pale. You'll look sick. They'll tell you to go home.
And now that all of our listeners know.
That's right. Increase in zinc sales. Order from Amazon. Thanks.
And mass times
the link
off.
from the website.
That's right. How's everybody else doing? Weekends? Anybody decent? Not so much?
Very decent. Went and saw Lego Movie, but we'll get into that in the movie segment.
Yes, we will. Anything else? That's all you did?
Nothing of significance. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Wait, my weekend?
My weekend actually was kind of boring until we left off on the end note where my Battle.net account got hacked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was a fun 2 following days of, what are my WoW characters doing without me actually having control over them? And my email was like, we have seen that your email has been registered by a non-authorized computer in China. I'm like,
nice.
Yeah, thank you. I could have told you that.
So you weren't in China over the weekend? Is that what I'm getting?
No, I was not.
Okay, all right.
This is one heck of an out-of-body experience. But
So,
sorry.
I'm assuming it's from World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah, it was for World of Warcraft, yes.
Do
What's
they
funny-
have a multi-factor authentication like Diablo 3 has? Where you can use your phone to authenticate it is you?
This is the funny part. He's had an authenticator keychain deal
For several years.
for several years. It's never been tied to his account. And now his account gets hacked, and he has to spend 3 days getting it fixed. So I had like no sympathy for him because he had all the tools to keep and be secure, and he just
To make it secure.
care to do it.
Well,
So haha.
okay, yeah. Needless to say, the authenticator is now on the account.
I bet.
Yeah. So no more of this hacking nonsense.
But if you want to hack his account, just send me email through the website, and I'll get you all the credentials, and I'll let you know the authenticator ID.
And
So
I'll
can
make
jump in.
sure to carry the authenticator with me. That way you would have to have that code known at the particular time of trying to sign in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, it's a pretty cool system, but it's pretty bad that that's their solution to account security. I mean, it seems like it's a cool system, but it kind of seems like a cop-out for them not having better security.
Okay, but this is the better security. I mean, they've gone to a system that is better security. I think part of the problem is that it involves real-world money transactions.
No, it doesn't.
I thought World of Warcraft does microtransactions.
They
Well, no,
did-
they're a subscription fee, but I'm saying the authenticator is they offer that to you for free.
I
You
understand
download
that,
the app for free.
but in World of Warcraft, can't you do microtransactions?
You can buy pets and some mounts in game. Yes.
Can you sell stuff or
They do.
transfer it to other players?
You can gift pets, but I think there is one pet that you can buy and sell on the auction house. I don't know. This was a year or two
do they have
back.
a real money auction house, or is it in-game
It
currency
was just
auction?
in-game currency auction.
Okay, so you can buy from their servers and microtransactions, but you can't turn around and sell it.
Okay,
it's
but
not
they
like
could
the
hack
Diablo
your account
3.
and transfer stuff.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is they hack your account, take all the gold, sell all the items and gear off, send the gold somewhere else, which then they turn around and go to an advertisement on servers going buy the gold for yada yada.
Right.
That's pretty much what they do. It's just a
Did you lose anything?
well, Blizzard is very good about restoring the accounts or the items lost if you can prove that the account was compromised.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're like, yep, in-game thing, here's all your items back, sent through the in-game mail, and, well, thank you for playing.
What I found interesting was when I was doing Diablo 3, my account didn't get hacked until my character reached max level. Then that same night that I hit max level, the account gets hacked, and when they did the restore on the account, it put me back to like level 18 or something stupid. I was so bummed.
So you did end up losing some levels.
Oh, well, lost a lot of it. And I thought it was really convenient, really suspicious that the same night I hit level 60 is the night my account gets hacked.
Yeah.
Now, if there was monetary gains for Blizzard for the authentication process, then I'd be really suspicious.
I think there is. You have to...
You don't have to buy an authenticator. You don't have to buy the app to authenticate. So,
There was...
anyway.
Well, there's actually kind of another... I was walking... Sorry, I'm jumping here. I was walking through the airport, my work the other day, and I was hearing this flight attendants, asking people at the board, and they're like, well, the people with our Platinum Gold, Ruby, and Ruby Plus members, I'm like, how many sections of, orders do you need, of groups that
Yeah.
you need?
Some of them have gotten ridiculous about the number of levels they've got.
We want you to feel special, but you're really not that much special.
Yeah. For all those really super special members who have flown once with us before.
Yeah. Versus the people that fly with us every week.
Yep.
Yeah, she goes through like 4 different like card holder things. It's like, really, people? How many do you need?
Yeah.
You're gonna get on the plane, no matter what, as long as you're
Have
here.
an assigned seat. Don't
Well,
worry
the
about
fight now with all the with the check baggage fees, the fight now is for overhead space, and that fills up really quickly because people like to bring huge suitcases on,
But
which
they're
they
not.
shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, they have a freaking baggage size, and you get your ticket, and
Yep.
the flight attendants at the terminal, when they check you on, they are, from what I've seen in the many times I fly once a year, seem to be fairly strict on that. So I don't know.
It varies. Some are really strict, and some just don't care.
Fantastic.
Yep. So anyway, we've gotten a long way off the topic.
We have. I guess my weekend is the final here, but luckily it's a short one. A friend of mine was in town from Texas. She used to live out here. Moved out to Texas for work stuff, and she was back for the weekend. So a bunch of us from the pool league all met up, and we're shooting pool and drinking, having a good time Saturday night. And Sunday, I pretty much did nothing but watched about 6 episodes of Game of Thrones. So
Cool.
we're now into season 3 on HBO Go, 2 episodes in. And we're getting preparations for season 4 here in another month and a half.
Woohoo!
Woo! And on that note, movies.
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 Woo! It's going to be my new catchphrase. Woo! So movies coming out this week. We have RoboCop rated at 49%. Winter's Tale, which is rated at 8%. Winter's Tale is with Colin Farrell. Love story with, not with, but also in the movie is Russell Crowe. Let's see. About Last Night.
A
That's
love
another
story between Will Ferrell and Russell Crowe.
No, I said
That's
not
going to be
between-
an interesting one.
Well, it's not the first movie of such nature.
No.
We have About Last Night, which is another Kevin Hart movie. It is not rated. And Endless Love. I saw something about that earlier, but I didn't care enough to look into it further. That's got a 22% rating.
So Endless
All right.
Love was actually pretty.
Well, it has an end.
Yeah. And apparently it was a pretty terrible end because it's at 22%.
That's right. In the box office, top box office movies. The Lego Movie pulled in $69.1 million in opening weekend. Monuments Men at $22 million. Right Along still hanging in there at 9.6, and Frozen at 6.9. Honorable mention, Vampire Academy, which also came out last week, pulled in $4.1 million. Now, my little breakdown here kind of correlates to critic rating and kind of doesn't. The Lego Movie, according to our 3 local theaters for showtimes, had 51 showtimes over the opening weekend. At the $69.1 million mark, that pulls in an average of $1.3 million per show with that criteria. Monuments Men, which only got a 34% critic rating, got 81 showtimes over the same 3 theaters. It's pulling in 22.7, which gives a breakdown at $280K a show. Vampire Academy at 12% critic rating got 39 showtimes, averaging $105K a show. So, rating does and doesn't clearly play a factor in the showtimes. Obviously, Lego Movie is probably is definitely a significant demographic difference from Monuments Men, but either way, it freaking slaughtered the box office.
People are going to see what they want to see, regardless of critic rating or what.
Well,
True.
Think about it. It's Monuments Men. It's 1 or 2 people seeing it, which then the Lego Movie could be anything between 3 to 4.
Yeah, that's a good point.
2, 3, or 4.
Your kid movies are going to bring in more money generally because where an adult movie would be mom and dad, a kid movie is going to be mom, dad, and kids. So instead of $24, you're getting $48 at the box office for the same carload per se. So that's definitely a little bit different. I mean, if you were to try to look at it on par and cut the box office revenue in half, averaging 2 kids per household, it still pulled in $34 million if you were looking at it on similar ground, so it still would have crushed Monuments Men.
And another family film I noticed in there, Frozen, is still hanging in strong in the top 5, where, what was the one you mentioned? Vampire Academy opened last week, and it's already honorable mention only.
That's correct. So, yeah, Frozen, Frozen's been hanging in there for quite a while. That released, late November? Something like that?
Was that the Christmas movie this year?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find out here real quick. While I find out, let's get first-hand impressions of the Lego movie.
Oh, it was an interesting thought when about, a quarter of the way into the movie, I leaned over to my wife and mentioned to her that it just dawned on me that we had just spent $50 to bring the family to see an hour and 45-minute Lego commercial.
Pretty much.
True.
Pretty much. It was very well done. The movie, I felt, was really good. It had a few of the adult-level humor jokes in there. The ones that sail right on by the top of the kids' heads. And
yes.
The adults get. Not too many, though. Certainly not to the level you would expect from, like, a Shrek or anything along those lines. But it was still very enjoyable. I liked it. I'm saying it's a definite go see it. Bit of a twist at the end that I won't give away.
Ah, great. Now I know there's a twist at the end.
They all fall apart.
Damn it. Yeah. The kid walks in and he takes all the Lego figures apart.
That's it. I've had enough. I'm going home.
Oh, jeez. Who was the main production company? Was it DreamWorks?
Was it Frozen or?
No, I'm talking about Lego movie.
Lego, okay. Just checking.
I don't know. Fact checkers checking.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
Well, you guys
doesn't look. But I did check. Frozen did come out November 27th, so it's been a solid running in theaters for going on 3 months now.
Yeah,
and that's pretty awesome.
And it's still in the top 5.
Yeah,
that is wild.
Pretty good. Disney's making their money on that one for sure.
It is Warner Brothers in association with Village Roadshow.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking about seeing the Lego movie this week, Friday actually. I'm going to have the kid with me. And then I found out she already saw it. So I'm thinking, well, great. Well, she'd probably be up for seeing it again. And I'm not so sure she'd be down for RoboCop. Although she loved Avatar. Both are PG-13, so we'll see.
I would probably go see RoboCop. Or Lego movie. But there's actually something when I perk up.
Perk up?
Yeah.
Feeling a little perky over there?
I could use the perk up, but that's another time.
You didn't even work today, big baby.
I'm addicted to 5-hour energies now, I've realized.
You have any days off?
No, I don't. And I take a nap halfway through the day. So, yeah, I'm kind of addicted to those. Anyway, we believe we started seeing this trend of talking about the kind of more adult jokes in kids' movies.
Mm-hmm. Shrek was really the pioneer. I think Shrek was the one that really made it obvious.
They made it obvious, yes. But go back and watch like some of those old cartoons that you watched as a kid.
Yeah, that you didn't pick up on any of them. You realize they're there. You're like, okay, that's funny.
I think I remember.
And now I'm rewatching it with the kids and cringing at most of them, going, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe that was in there." Wait, I never noticed that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick, cover their eye. Well, they probably didn't notice it either.
Yeah,
I think I remember like watching Aladdin, in summer school at a particular time, and it was like, "Praise Allah." I'm like, "What? Wait, what did you just say?" And never heard it as a kid.
Well, you didn't know to listen for it. Actually, they should say that because they're in the Middle East, and that's what their religious practice would be.
But it's like,
I think in Hercules there was a few because you had that kind of forbidden love story sort of, and there was stuff going on there, and Hades definitely would make some stuff. But Yeah, it's interesting going back and looking through the kid movies and seeing the stuff that we've never picked up on.
So if you need a nostalgia trip and just like the stuff that you never picked up on as a kid, go back and just start watching those.
That's right. Too great. So yeah, that wraps up movies. So we may have some more movie critiques next week on maybe RoboCop or other impressions of the Lego Movie. So join us next week. And now it's the news.
Yay, let's do the news.
Yay. Brad.
Take it from the top. Have you guys been paying any attention to the Olympics coverage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Have you been
mildly.
watching the Olympics?
Not nearly as aggressively as I should be. And I feel badly about that. But I am mildly paying attention.
Okay. Well, one of the big things that has come out of the coverage this year has been how insecure Russia is. And
Russia?
Russia.
Oh, okay. Russia.
I think someone needs to stop drinking
So
as well.
you watching the Super Bowl again and realizing that it wasn't good
No.
with the Russia?
Anyway, the Russians were really good. So the NBC, who is the the network of choice for Olympic coverage, they're the partners for Olympic coverage, decided to do a special on how dangerous it is to have your electronics with you in Russia while you're visiting, and how it's just, a hotbed of hacking activity, and oh my goodness, this is horrible. So their correspondent does a special where he's talking about the Olympics, and it's all based around, everything related to that, except they aren't even in Sochi, they're in Moscow doing the story.
Nice.
And yeah, and the link will be in the show notes. There's a link to, somebody's taken the NBC video and put it on YouTube, and there'll be a link to it, where they take a PC and a MacBook and unbox them and connect them to the internet and, supposedly get hacked really quickly. They also show an Android phone that gets hacked super fast. And the moral of the story is, you take out your electronics as soon as you get there, and as soon as you plug in and turn on, you're going to be hacked. Just like that.
Interesting.
Well, what they don't tell you, and this is where the link in the show notes will be too, is the story is 100% made up.
My God.
Yeah, I know. Shocking. A news organization inventing stories.
That never happens.
So they
Fox.
go through, this website goes through, and the hacks that they encounter aren't just automatic they get hacked. They're a result of some of the websites that they're visiting and stuff that they're agreeing to, files that they're downloading. Part of the problem also is they're pitching this as being, they unboxed the MacBook in the segment, right? So the pitch is that these are brand new, fresh out of the box machines, and you plug them in and bam, you're in trouble.
Let me guess. They show someone logging in and he actually logs in even though he didn't have to set up a user account.
No, that's not where I'm going with this.
Oh.
Where I'm going is some of the exploits that they get hacked with are Flash and Java based.
Right, because those come standard on a MacBook.
No, they don't.
Exactly my point.
Yeah, they come standard on a PC, but you have to install them separately on a MacBook.
Yeah.
And then for the Android, which supposedly gets hacked, and oh my goodness, this is horrible, there is a separate breakdown which is linked from the main article that shows the steps he has to go through to get it to install this malware, including turning off security and agreeing to allow this app access and installing it. It doesn't just happen automatically. And all of the problems they encounter, you can actually get the same problems from here. You can access the same websites and download the same malware from the States. It has nothing to do with Russia.
Yeah. Well, speaking of made-up press for Russia, did you watch the opening ceremony?
No.
Okay, so they had 5 snowflakes as part of the opening ceremony, and then the snowflakes opened up. You know those balls you see at like Sharp Image where they're spiky or whatever, but then you can open them up and they're like 5 times the size and they're hollow.
I used to have
Yep.
one.
Okay, so they did that kind of deal with the opening ceremony. They started as snowflakes all lit up, and they opened up into big rings and made the Olympic rings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the 5 rings didn't open.
Okay.
The next day, there was articles floating around the internet saying that the man responsible for the opening ceremony was found dead in Sochi from multiple stab wounds.
I did hear that.
Okay, and in the article, it's when you start to really look at it, you start to think, really, it says multiple stab wounds, but no foul play has been suspected. It's like, right. So on and on about them finding this guy who was, supposedly responsible for the opening ceremony and found dead. Well, turns out there's a website, I forget what it's called, but they're notorious for making up these fake satirical articles, and it hits social media and it just blows up out of proportion. So we actually put on our Facebook page the actual article, or the debunking of this fake article. No one was found dead as a result of the opening ceremonies that we know of. And the article that did publish is a total fraud. But just more about feeding into the American Russia is bad mindset. Same with your article about hacking software and data devices.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Conditions may not be as good over there, but they're not completely backwards.
Yeah.
It's not this, horrible place where everybody's evil.
Let's face it, Russia can't afford... They probably could afford. They don't want to afford any more negative press over there than they're already getting with the anti-gay stuff.
Yep.
So them doing anything that would jeopardize any type of position globally is definitely not worth it for them.
What are the 3 biggest portrayed bad guys in movies?
China, Russia.
Okay, now there's 4. British.
France.
No, it's the British guy.
Yep.
China. Russia. Now I've lost the
And
other
French
one.
probably typically. Or German.
German, absolutely.
Or was it Al
Yeah.
Qaeda? I think it was.
Well, those aren't typically Hollywood bad. They don't have a lot of okay stuff. But anyway, so yeah, we're moving on.
Yep. What you got?
I got Destiny and the Activision CEO Eric Heisenberg. Is he Jewish? I think he is.
That's definitely a Jewish name, but how dare you come out and say something like that? So
I've got no problem.
narrow-minded.
I've got no problem with Jewish people. This guy's making hopefully great games. Soon to come down the pipeline.
The trailer for the game's great, whether the game is or not.
So, in a conference call to investors, Mr. Eric revealed some new details about the upcoming game Destiny by Bungie, the same guys who did the Halo series.
Well, not the same guys.
Portion of the same guys.
Yes.
Mm,
Same
yes.
studio.
There we go.
Yes.
So, Eric revealed that there will be a open beta for Destiny sometime this summer,
Yay!
and that developers plan to release the game on September 9th.
Yay!
Yep. Activision is looking forward for Destiny, hoping that it will be their third billion-dollar franchise. That is a B.
Well, and the interesting thing there is they said franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be a one-off
It's going to be
game.
more than one.
They're forecasting to make multiples. So provided the first game doesn't flop, and with all the hype, it would have to come out and be really crappy for it to flop.
I'm surprised that Bungie's going with somebody else. Of course, I suppose the first time they used Microsoft Studios to publish it.
Yeah, this is going to be multi-platform.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's true.
Yep.
I'm just surprised that with as much hype and goodwill as they generated through Halo, that they don't have the momentum to do it themselves.
It's been a couple of years since they've come out with anything decent, didn't it? Once the first 2 Bungie games came out, Microsoft bought the guys, so
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to go back through and see what other titles Bungie's involved in, but...
Yeah, well, following the franchise next to Halo and Call of Duty.
Bungie was involved with what, the early Call of Duties?
Activision.
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 Yeah.
They're
Activision,
the alternate to Infinity Ward, right?
yeah. Activision has said that they are working hard to make this the biggest IP launch in video game history. Following it, we are bringing gamers an ambitious and innovative game. I hate that word. Innovative. That combines intensity of an FPS with the character connection and investment of an RPG in a immense connected universe.
Sweet.
The game is on record or on course for breaking a record pre-order sales. Wow, that was tortured.
Yeah, it was.
Added Eric. So, someone I follow on YouTube, he played it at PAX last year. He had his ups and downs. One of them was that Titans, the big armored walking mech things, weren't able to destroy buildings. You think, well, with these things walking around, they should be able to do that. Well,
so, like, the environments were not destructible?
And he asked why, and they gave him a reason saying, well, the Titans can basically mow down infantry soldiers. And to have the Titan be able just to destroy all the buildings would kind of leave the person who likes to play on soldier foot style and not being a Titan be completely at a disadvantage because he had no place to hide against the Titan. And a person can take down a Titan, a foot soldier can take down a Titan, but you have to be very sneaky and stealth about it because, like I said, it's one shot. I mean, these things are carrying around multiple rocket guns that fire 6 at any given time. So to have the buildings just disintegrate would be a massive disadvantage to a on-foot soldier. But other than that, he said he did like all the aspects of the game. There's a lot of the preview going around as they had a weekend thing going on just recently. So you can look up anywhere on YouTube. You'll probably find a whole bunch of new details about it and a lot of gameplay too. Garrett?
Very cool. Any follow-up statements to that, Brad? No?
As far as Bungie's Legacy, they developed the original Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo ODST, and Halo Reach. And that was their final game. That was where they were cut loose. They were part of Microsoft Studios for part of that time, but they were still in charge of the Halos, and then they were cut loose. And then Microsoft retaining the rights to Halo, their own studio, 343 Studios, developed Halo 4. Bungie did a deal with Activision. It's a 10-year publishing deal. So for the next 10 years, anything that comes from Bungie is going to be released by Activision.
Sounds like a smart deal for Activision. A lot of people recognize Bungie just because of the first two, obviously first 4 Halo games or whatever. But
absolutely.
Now everyone's got an expectation of great games coming from Bungie, and now Activision's going to have a hold on that for 10 years. So that sounds like a good deal for them.
Well, and Bungie learning from their Microsoft deal, according to the details on the web, when they signed with Activision, they purposely signed that Bungie retains the rights to anything new created. Activision is only going to be the publisher, so they won't be forced out of their own franchise again.
That's Sounds like they
You know
learned.
what? I just made a huge mistake. I was talking about Titans. Titans are in Titanfall, not Destiny.
More details to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of following his own show notes, he decided to deviate, and he deviated wrong.
Oops.
Well, let's jump to a more serious note here. Gay marriage is back in the news headlines, this time coming from Kentucky. Kentucky apparently had a ban on recognizing any gay and lesbian marriages performed out of state. Well, 4 couples went to or sued Kentucky for their marital rights, being that they were already legally married from elsewhere, and got up to the federal court, in which a ruling today, per federal court judge John G. Hayburn II, ruled that the ban would be overturned in Kentucky. It is not constitutional, saying that gay and lesbian said that the ban in Kentucky was written to treat gay and lesbian persons differently in a way that demeans them. So they have their marital rights, but they're not allowed to utilize those in Kentucky because they are not recognized. So it goes on to saying that the government may define marriage and attach benefits to it, but it cannot impose a traditional or faith-based limitation without sufficient justification. It said assigning a religious or traditional rationale for a law does not make it constitutional. He said this decision came from 4 gay and lesbian couples who posed their lawsuits. The ruling only forces Kentucky to acknowledge out-of-state same-gender marriages. It does not impose that they must perform same-gender marriages within the state. So they only have to recognize ones that have already occurred. One plaintiff said that he was only surprised at the speed the ruling occurred, and said the lawsuit was filed in July of 2013. And to me, that sounds like a long time. You're coming up on 7-8 months. It's not quite 7-8 months, but maybe 6-7 months. And how long is a standard federal lawsuit supposed to take? I don't know.
I always thought those things should be
Some
handled.
of them drag on for a long time.
Yeah.
I thought they should be handled fairly quickly. I mean,
Well, they should be handled quickly. They're not.
They should, but, we sue everybody for everything nowadays, so
Yep.
there's
According
a lot
to
of cases.
Yeah, I hear you for sure. According to religious leaders, they said that Hayburn, who's the federal judge, is taking away from Kentucky's right to determine its policies regarding marriage. And again, the ruling is only to acknowledge existing, not to perform further. Paul Chiltwood, who's the leader of Kentucky Baptist Convention, which holds 750,000 members, calls this ruling tragic and disappointing. He also says this decision moves us down the slippery slope towards launching Kentucky into moral chaos and depriving children of their innate need of both a mother and father. He says,
Yes, I know. Next up, bestiality and pedophilia.
Exactly. He continues, he says, I pray that the appeal process will honor the Commonwealth's Constitution and protect their children. So, once more, the whole debate of separation between church and state, marriage is, although there's faith involved, nowadays marriage is a legal contract. That's law. That's state. That's not church. You can go down to the courthouse and be legally married and have no ceremony whatsoever. That's your right.
Yep.
So the fact that we've got, religious leaders still clinging to the fact that marriage is a religious event, yes, it can be. Doesn't have to be.
Well, and, that's the thing. If their church doesn't want to recognize it, that's their church's right. That doesn't mean they have any say over whether the state can or not.
That's correct.
And it's interesting. A lot of these cases, in my mind, would be non-starters. depending on, if you're on the side that this shouldn't be happening, you shouldn't be allowed to have same-gender marriages, you're creating an issue out of this. You're forcing it to an issue. If they hadn't have tried to outlaw it, then this would never have been an issue.
Correct. It's
But
the opposition
they're
that's
making it
provoking the friction.
For being opposed to it, they would have been better off just ignoring it and pretending it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I
agree.
No, I find it kind of funny that these guys, the religious leaders, complain that it's making a mockery of the church or whatever it is, making a mockery of the act of marriage and ceremony and whatnot. But yet, if they're so against this, why aren't they against going down to Las Vegas and getting a cookie marriage there? No, if you're so saying this is an act of faith and in church, why is it that you're going to come down so hard on here when this other thing is making a mockery of the church as well?
Well, you know what the biggest cause of the end of marriages are?
I'm not going to say death, because that's not anymore.
Divorce.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that breaks marriages is a divorce. They don't seem to have a problem with those very much.
That's another thing. It's when I can get a cookie wedding or a divorce, and these are two other things that are making it a mockery of the church. And they're only focusing on this one issue. They're fighting an uphill battle that has two more hills after it.
It's not the biggest problem that marriage is facing.
Yeah.
If you even want to call it a problem, which I don't.
It's not.
If you're wanting to call it a problem, that's not your biggest issue.
Yep. Well, here he comes. If you are done there, sir. Hello?
Hello?
You done?
I am.
All right, then. So I think, would it be Garrett's turn?
No,
it's
that was
my
my
turn.
article that I just did. It's now back to Brad for his article.
All right, then there we go. And
last week we covered The Day We Fight Back, a movement from the Electronic Frontier Foundation that was trying to organize content creators and websites to create a groundswell movement against the NSA surveillance policy. Well, that day, the day that we fought back, was yesterday, the 11th, and actually got some really good results.
Well, we're proud to say that an Abundance of Naught was a part of that. We, if you were at our website, if you were on our Facebook page, you saw the banners, and we're glad we could try to do our part.
So the purpose of the banner was to inspire people to call their representatives in Congress and let them know that they are opposed to the NSA's Dragnet-style surveillance program. Remember, the NSA is set up to do surveillance. That's their job. The purpose of this is not to stop them from doing their job, but it's supposed to be in a targeted manner with proof that they need to, not, save everything and we'll figure it out later. So the result of the campaign from the EFF to date, 89,051 phone calls have been placed to the members of Congress. That is a
good step
huge
for sure.
turnout.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, with anything, it would have been nice if it were higher, but that's a really good turnout, and as you said, we were proud to be a part of it.
No matter how small or how big.
Yep. At least the voice is getting heard. The campaign obviously is not over. The particular bills that they are one they're opposed to and one they're in favor of to try and curb the NSA, are still pending. So for more information, see the show notes for a link. It is thedaywefightback.org, and you can put your phone number in there, and it will give you the phone number to your local representative so you can call them and let them know that you oppose the NSA's surveillance.
Very, very good.
Wait.
Thank you. Now for the, half of what I was talking about in my last section.
Now we get the other half.
Yeah, tack it onto this. So, Titanfall beta signups are going on right now. This very moment. And you will be getting, hopefully be getting, if you've signed up, an invitation on Friday, but no later than Saturday. So if you don't get the invitation by the end of Saturday, you are SOL. Now the game is from Rare Spawn Entertainment and EA. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the game does look amazing. And we've already basically talked on the nitty-gritty of it in the last section. So I will, right when this is done, I will be getting up and putting my
candidacy
info in for it. Yeah.
Must apply.
That's it.
And if it's not under any kind of embargo, you'll see it on the channel.
Woohoo! It is being distributed through Origin, so if you have an Origin account, you are good to go. You still need to sign up, obviously, but, no further weirdness is required. Just use your Origin account.
Great, so I need to get an Origin account, then sign up. Yay!
It's like Steam. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I know what it is.
So back to the Olympics. I found a couple of fun articles here. We'll do the one that actually correlates to the Olympics directly, and that is, for those who don't know, the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics is an Olympic for the ages, for the history books. There are a total of 12 new events in the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics. Those events include the ski halfpipe to go alongside the snowboarding halfpipe. Women's ski jump for the first time in the Olympics is now an event. The men's ski jump first time occurred 1924. So now, 90 years later, women get to participate in the ski jump. There's a biathlon mixed rally.
I don't know why we rushed into that so quick.
I know, we really should take more time.
We should think about this more.
Exactly.
Let's give it another 4 years.
Give it 40 years. So, we got a biathlon mixed relay. Now, this is kind of a cool event. It's a 2 female, 2 male team. Women race 6 kilometers. Men race 7.5 kilometers. Sexist bastards. The order is female, female, male, male. Each athlete then also shoots at 2 targets. One shot is in a prone position, one is standing. These are rifle. And each missed shot has a 150-meter penalty. So that's kind of a really interesting event. You get the endurance up, you get the heart rate up, then you got to do some gunning, and then see where you stand. There is also a figure skating team event. This is a team of 6 skaters. You have individual male, individual female, skating pair, and ice dancing pair. Best cumulative score obviously wins. A luge team relay. You have a double sled, women's single, and male single. Each team goes one after another, and the clock stops after the 3rd sled finishes. Best time collectively. Here's
hoping the guy in front of you gets off the track at the bottom really quickly.
Or doesn't eat it midway and totally freaking... At least at the bottom you can still win. If he eats it midway, you're toast. But yeah, it's like boom, boom, boom at the starting line, and then the clock stops at the end. So it's pretty crazy. There's a ski slope style, men's and women's. and a snowboard slopestyle men's and women's, along with snowboard parallel slalom men's and women's. And for just this good old grins, medal count so far, Germany is ahead with 6 gold, 1 silver, followed by Canada, 4 gold, 4 silver, 2 bronze. Norway's got 4 gold, 3 silver, 5 bronze. Netherlands are 4 gold, 2 silver, 4 bronze, and we have 3 gold, 1 silver, 5 bronze.
And the home team was shut out on the first day, from what I hear.
Yeah, I heard China dominated the first day, but we see it didn't last because they're not even in the top 5 as far as golds go. So,
yep.
And obviously neither is Russia, so pretty interesting. Brad, back to you. Unless I want to go into my other Olympics topic, which is a little bit more fun, lighthearted. Verdict?
Yeah, save that for last.
Okay, save it for last.
We're gonna need something lighthearted to end on.
Oh, crap.
We're gonna do a little Comcast bashing now. Comcast, one of the major cable providers for the States, has had problems with their email server. A group of hackers that are calling themselves Null Crew FTS successfully hacked into Comcast's mail servers using an unpatched vulnerability dated from December of 2013. They did the responsible thing and notified Comcast, who promptly did nothing.
Fantastic. Hey, Absolutely. You got a security breach. Yeah, we don't care.
Yeah, whatever. They sat on it, and they sat on it, and finally when Comcast didn't respond, they published it, and then used the breaches to compromise 34 of Comcast's mail servers within 24 hours.
Wonder how many email servers they have.
I don't know.
Because 34 sounds like a lot, but I mean, if they have like thousands, then it's like, yeah, big deal.
No, I don't think they have thousands, because you don't need that many.
True.
NSA
although,
does.
what do you think the client base for Comcast is?
Well, pretty low now.
After listening to our podcast, 0. I don't know what their client base is. I would imagine in the millions.
I would have to easily say the millions.
Comcast did issue a statement, but only in a business-to-business forum, nothing to their consumer customers. There has been no contact to their consumer customers, not even to tell them, hey, reset your passwords.
It's a good responsible looking out for their customers' company.
Yeah. The telecom giant has ignored requests from the press for comment. And, yeah, they just kind of have said nothing.
Nice.
So, details will be in the show notes. Any Comcast subscribers that are in our listening area, change your password. Even if you don't use Comcast email, you automatically have a Comcast email address just by virtue of the fact that you're their customer, even if you never used it. But that is the account that holds all the keys to your subscription information. So log on to Comcast's homepage, get into the webmail. If you don't use their email, that's fine, but log into the webmail and at least change your password. This comes on the tail of a customer report that highlights a feature, and I use that term very, very loosely, that Comcast introduced in the middle of last year, where all their newer Wi-Fi routers come with dual Wi-Fi networks. One of them is yours for you to set up for your home. The other one ties into Comcast advertises a public Wi-Fi network where if you're a Comcast customer, you can log on to their Wi-Fi away from your home. Well, those hotspots that are away from your home are actually other subscribers' routers.
See, I am kind of on the fence with this, though. Part of me says that's kind of cool as long as it's totally isolated from your network.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as the data that's passing through your router and therefore modem, if it doesn't go against your data usage or your bandwidth speeds, then who cares? I mean, I kind of see it as a feature. Great. They don't have to put in all that much infrastructure. They're letting their client base do it for them.
And from a technology standpoint, I definitely agree with you. It is a cool feature. I have not been able to confirm, but I believe it does not go against your data cap, which is a good thing. When people are browsing on your connection, though, it is going to affect your speed. I mean, you're sharing it with them.
Yeah, and that's the downer.
That can't be helped.
So don't have Comcast if you live near a mall.
Exactly. Who knows how many people you might get. Comcast does say that the feature can be disabled if you call their customer service line. I would not hold my breath on that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and say there it's disabled for you, not.
Yeah. Where this really becomes an issue is recently a flaw has been identified in a large majority of wireless routers where a specific port is left open and answering. Now, in some routers, it's only on the internal interface. On some routers, it's both the internal and the internet side interface that answers to this. There have not been very clear answers as to what exactly this port is doing, but leaving anything open that you're not in control of is definitely not safe. So the question becomes, if Comcast is letting all these people log into your router, do they have access to this port, and can this port be used for remote control of your router?
Now, Brad, do everyone a favor and dummy this conversation down for those non-tech-savvy people. Tell them what is this really the risk of? What is a port?
A port is a way for something to connect into your network. There are 65,000 ports in a router that you can open or close to allow things to connect to you. For instance, if you wanted to have a web server on your network and have people connect to your web server, you would open port 80 because that's the one that web browsers connect to.
Okay.
So essentially, these Wi-Fi routers are hosting a service that we have no idea what it does or what it's for or who can connect. You know, especially with all the NSA revelations, this could be an intentional backdoor.
Agreed. Now, is this on the standard port configuration deal that it's fairly easy to log in and disable this, or is this hard-coded?
It's hard-coded.
Ooh.
Yes.
That is scary.
Exactly. So there will be a link to the show notes to a security firm that I am a big fan of, Gibson Research Corporation. He has a Internet Shield testing website where you can go to and have it test your router and see what exactly you're displaying to the internet. The link that will be in the show notes will be a direct link to test this particular port and see if you're showing it. But while you're on his site, browse around because he's got links that will test the other major ports as well.
Awesome.
So, links in the show notes.
Very good.
Yep. Scary, scary times.
No kidding. Everyone's worried about security, and Comcast has given somebody a direct way in. That's strange.
Yep. Wait.
Thank you. In my last topic anyway, Infinity Ward. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Infinity Ward has come out and announced that anyone using third-party software while playing Call of Duty Ghost on the PC this will be banned. Now, this also includes a field of view mod. How do I say this? A mod that basically affects your field of view. I'm sorry, I really don't know how to explain it.
Does it limit it? Does it enhance it?
It allows you to adjust the field of view so that you can see more of your peripheral in the game. With this one, this is actually somewhat of a big deal because there are people who suffer from what is known as simulation sickness. This causes eye strain, headaches, and other symptoms due to the lack of field of view. Now, Treyarch has come out and said they understand this issue, that they will be putting in a field of view slider sometime in the future. However, this game has been out for 3 months now. The mod was available on day 1. And how long will it take for them to put in this field of view slider, which should have been some say should be in any first-person shooter game on the PC as default day 1.
Yeah, I mean, you see some of these PC rigs and they got, 3 monitors plus, and I could definitely see how a peripheral setting could be useful. Definitely sounds like if they overlooked this in production that they're not necessarily in touch with their base per se.
It sounds like an attempt to limit cheating, though.
No, that definitely sounds like the purpose of their limitation and their ban. But maybe the fact that not everyone using third-party software is doing it for... it's a benefit to a player if they can increase their field of vision. So it's still kind of, backhanded if you can do something that someone else can't. But if you're getting eye strain from playing video games, maybe you need to take a little break. Maybe 8 hours a day is a little much.
Aw.
Sorry, back to work.
Do I have to?
No.
You can't play Flappy Bird all day long.
Poor Flappy Bird.
Poor Flappy Bird.
Let's have a moment of silence for Flappy Bird.
Okay, that's enough.
Yep. Anything further for Infinity Ward?
Well, nothing really. Anything further. It's just that, how long are people going to have to wait and sit through eye strain, headaches, and other things? Granted, I'll give you an agreement there that some people will probably play for too long and will have eye strain and headaches, but there are people who suffer from this sickness.
Maybe they should upgrade to 4K display.
I don't think that'll do anything.
MacBook Pro or Mac Pro.
If you're getting eye strain in a single match of playing a computer game, then maybe you need to go see a doctor. Maybe you need to go get some help. Maybe some of those gamer glasses would be beneficial. I don't know. It's the first time I've ever heard of people getting serious medical issues from playing a video game that wasn't involved with, someone shooting another person.
All right,
no
then.
idea.
Okay, good. Finally, last article here regarding the Olympics. I found this fun article that I thought I'd share. The top 5 richest U.S. athletes currently competing in Russia 2014. Number 1, Shaun White. Not really a surprise there. He is worth $20 million. His endorsement deals are Target, Red Bull, Oakley, Burton Snowboards, and he's a major shareholder in Air and Style, which is a competitive snowboarding event. Number 2, Bodie Miller, skier, worth $8 million. He has a Nike and a head endorsement deal. Number 3 is Ted Lichty, Ligety. He's worth $2 million. His affiliations are with Audi, 2XU, and Slytech. He earned 75,000 euros in prize money for a 2013 race. He's also founded Shred Optics, which is a ski goggle company, and they also do sunglasses and helmets. Number 4, Hannah Tetter, snowboarder, worth $1 million, affiliated with Samsung and Burton Snowboards. She founded an underwear line called Sweet Cheeks. She sends a portion of profits to charity. She sent $10,000 prize money from a Grand Prix race to victims of the Haiti earthquake in 2010. And lastly, Lindsay Jacobellis, snowboarder, $1 million worth. She was in a Visa ad and Dunkin' Donuts commercials, also affiliated with Sprint, and Paul Mitchell, who's a hairdresser. So we got some wealthy Olympians.
How does some guy have like a head thing?
The head endorsement.
What is that?
Sunglasses, helmets, hats, anything that... It's like he's like a head model type deal. Also, in the news this morning, they were talking about, a lot of people don't realize, but someone who wins a medal at the Olympics, the U.S. pays them. It's something like $25,000 for gold, $10,000 for silver, and $5,000 for bronze, something along those lines. But the downer with that is that gets reported as income, which is then taxed.
Of course.
So, congratulations for showing, that America's badass, and we won these medals, and you earned these, and here's your prize money, but give some back.
Uncle Sam wants his cut.
Yeah, Uncle Sam gave him the money. You'd think they would, adjust that up front. Anyway.
Yep.
That's it for our wealthy Olympians.
Fact checkers just checked back in. One expanded point for Titanfall. There will be no embargo for the closed beta.
Wow. So, if you can get into the closed beta, you are free to talk and share to your heart's content.
In fact, they even encourage you to stream gameplay.
But can you monetize it?
Ooh.
Will there be an FOV slider? Sorry, I had to.
You got to do it. I think that does it for us, though. February 12th. I'm done.
I believe it does.
I'm done.
That's a wrap.
Keep on gaping, everyone.
Laters. We here at Abundance of Naught do appreciate you listening in and would also appreciate you sharing us with your friends via the Stitcher Radio app and also iTunes. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and join us at Facebook. Thank you.